talk.
Hi, I'm Gav and welcome back to the channel. If you're a sim racer that's been on the internet for the last couple of weeks, you might have noticed from the plethora of videos all over your timeline now that Automobilista 2 had an update. And in fact, probably one of the biggest updates it's ever had. It added new content, but more importantly, a massive 1.5 physics overhaul. Now, I am a huge fan and always have been of Automobilista 2, even with some of its drawbacks. This physics update has propelled it to the top of my simulators. It is one of the most fun games to drive at the moment. It does still have some drawbacks, but the amount of fun I have had in this game in the last couple of weeks is second to none on any simulator. So what I thought I'd do today is jump into Automobilista 2 in a class of cars that I'm really enjoying at the moment. I thought we'd go for a drive and I'd explain to you what's going on with AMS2. Let's jump into it. So one of the things I am now loving in Automobilista 2 is the P1 Gen 2 class. This is Brazilian endurance racing. The Gen 2 class is the updated endurance racing with DRS, big V8, some have traction control, some have ABS, some don't, and I think when you chuck a load of these into a great track like Spa today, it provides you with some awesome racing. So here we are in the P1 class. Starting P2, I randomized the grid, so that wasn't because I did some sort of magic in qualifying. So the P1 class is the top of the Brazilian endurance racing classes, and since AMS2 previously had the P1 class, but it was quite an outdated version of it, this is the updated version and it's on the brand new tyre model. Now this brand new tyre model, like I said in the intro, has revolutionized Automobilista 2. It has turned it from what I thought was a really fun game with lots of really exciting fun content into an absolute joy to drive. One of the issues with Automobilista 2 that many people have since pointed out is how slidey the game can be, especially on throttle and not feeling like the cars are actually attached to the road. Now, this new physics update has addressed that through many things, which I will leave proper sim racing YouTubers to talk about, but one of the biggest things that they've implemented here is an improvement on the tyres. Now, this isn't like an incremental bit of change, this is a massive overhaul. The tyres now feel like they're actually stuck to the road, you feel like you can push the cars and you have grip. I mean, it's just mind-blowing how much this has changed the game, and I think it is the most well represented in these cars. They are so much fun to drive. They've got downforce, they've got DRS, there's a whole host of them to race, and obviously I've chosen Spa because that is the sim racing home, so to say. And AMS2 have a really lovely model of Spa, including historic Spa, which I'll leave GP laps to entertain you with historic track and car combinations. I mean, the breadth of content that AMS2 it has just made, well, this update has just made all the content that you might not have wanted to drive, or maybe not tried, and has just turned into an enjoyable drive for pretty much every class. There's so many things that I didn't really care for driving, where I'm now at the point where I will jump in anything on this sim and drive it. The Ginettas, the GT4s, the GT3s, old school F1, anything. Everything has just become wildly more fun. The AI has had some adjustments, and although not as massive of a change as we've had with the physics, the AI definitely do seem a bit more racy. And this has come from someone that said AI in AMS2 is probably some of the best AI that there was around. Gamer Muscle can fight me on anything I say, but I just love Automobilista 2. I genuinely just love it so much. I think it's one of the best sims out there in just terms of fun and enjoyment. Dynamic weather system, dynamic track progressing. They've now got safety cars in the game. They're constantly adding new content. Don't even get me started on the new rallycross content, because that is incredible. And the fact that you can just drive those rallycross cars on a track, or you drive, I don't know, let's say a Formula 1 car on a rallycross track, is just awesome. And it's great to see them supporting them. I've had this game pretty much since launch, and the way it has come on in leaps and bounds has just been, you know, the only people I've seen make these kind of massive changes to their game are iRacing over like a 15-year span. As this guy tries to go up my inside, gotta flick my DRS on. I think AMS2 as well has always had really, really good force feedback. I've played AMS2 on a host of different wheels, obviously. Started on the Thrustmaster T300 RS, went to the Fanatec CSW 2.5, and now I'm on the Camus DD. And across all three of those wheelbases, the game has driven absolutely fantastically. But it really, really has come alive with a direct drive wheel as well. As I hop the curb and cut the track a little bit there. I mean, if you've not tried AMS2 yet because you're a little bit worried about certain YouTubers saying certain things and trashing the game, wait for it to go on sale, have a go at it, or buy it, and then refund it if you don't like it. 2 hours should tell you enough that you want to do about a sim. The Madness engine is working wonders. The game looks beautiful, and I'm running it on high settings, and I still get pretty good frame rates even on my aging GTX 1070. But as you can see in front of me, the AI are properly going at it. I've got them set to 95 or 100, because obviously I'm not the quickest sim racer by any means. And also it's quite hard to drive against really fast AI when you're trying to talk, and that you haven't done it in a while. I mean, look, this AMS2 previously, as much as I loved it, like, if I put the power on down now, in a previous build, you know, I'd be trying to counter-steer a slide, but now, car's got grip, got the downforce, sticks there. Even cars that I loved in AMS2 previously, I'm not going to go up the inside on Blanchimont, even cars I loved on AMS2 previously, that were some of my favourite cars to drive, for example the GT1 cars, because I think those things are awesome, are somehow even better. I think Timo Dick said it best in that he was talking about how much he loves the GT1 cars and how they've just gotten even better through this update. By the way, great YouTuber, go check him out. I'll put his link in the description down below. I mean, it's just, I can't gush about this game enough. And look, this is coming from someone who was a massive Project Cars 2 fanboy. That was one of the games that got me into sim racing, properly into sim racing, aside from Gran Turismo and all that. So obviously I have a soft spot for the Madness engine and AMS2, but the work that these guys are doing, that Reza are doing with this sim, we're going to have Le Mans coming next year, with hopefully some prototypes, and if they drive anything like, as we test the grass physics, if they drive anything like that these P1s do, they are going to absolutely blow that Motorsport Games Le Mans game out the window. You know, if that ever actually comes out. Now, talking and driving, I am losing a little bit of time to the guys in front. Let's see if we can knuckle down a little bit and try and catch them. We are sitting in P4. I mean, man, AMS2 is just this game is just so much fun to drive. A little dash of the brakes there as we come around Blanchimont. Scrubbed way too much speed off though. Let's see if we can catch up into the bus stop. I've even heard that AMS2 is fantastic in VR. I don't race in VR, but I'm sure there are lots of great sim racers on YouTube that can tell you all about the VR performance. But again, as we go around the first corner for like the penultimate time, there's nothing more I can do but tell you to go race AMS2. In fact, just before this update came out, Jimmy Broadbent did a video talking about how much it's changed. So I'd love to see his views on how much it's changed since the 1.5 update. And this is only the beginning, you know. They finally got this sim into a great place. So, you know, what's next in terms of physics upgrades and where this sim can go? I genuinely think this could be one of the best sims. It definitely does lack in the multiplayer side of things. I do use it as a single player only racing sim because the AI is so good to race against. Probably second only to the iRacing AI. They're really fun to race against. They're a little bit... They definitely do need some optimization here and there, but Reza have already said they're working on that, so it'll be interesting to see where the AI goes. We might catch up to these guys here. Oh, let's dive up the inside of Piff Paff. We're going to have the outside line, which is really slippy out here, so I've got to be really careful on the power. We're going to have to get them on the run up to Blanchemont and the bus stop. But again, I can just... Oh, we've got a full course yellow. So, one thing that I can show you about AMS2, seeing as we are into a caution, is AMS2 has full course yellows, including a safety car, which I think is pretty cool. Instead of just waving yellow flags and all that kind of stuff, we've now got an actual safety car system, which actually does come out with the AI. The AI do have a tendency sometimes to have a little bit of a crash. Problem is, we're going to have to jump on caution, and it won't go green until the end of this lap, which means that's a P4 for us, and a little bit of a relaxed way to end this race. As you can see up here, the Chevy Camaro safety car. Wow, we're going really slowly up Eau Rouge. But this race is not going to resume. We're going to finish under the safety car. So let's jump out of the sim and I'll give you my final thoughts on AMS2 for today. So there was my thoughts on the Automobilista 2 1.5 update. Let me know what you think of Automobilista 2, not just the update, the game in general. Tell me down in the comments below. But if you liked this video, please consider subscribing or just leaving a like or sharing. I don't mind, just anything would be nice. There are plenty more videos on the way, so actually you probably should get subscribed. If you'd like to follow me on any of my other socials, they will be in the description down below. But until I see you on the next video, thank you for watching. Goodbye.